Welcome to Goldboys Live, presented by Pickett Sports Sleeper Picks. Brad, Josh, too bad there are no sports to discuss today. My goodness, I don't even know where to start. Monday Night Football reaction. We have another Game 7 in the LCS. It is Phillies Diamondbacks. I'm surprised Phillies lost yesterday. NBA is somehow starting today. I have to double, triple check to make sure. I guess we start with last night, guys. We got I wish the audience, and again, if people in the chats can hit us up, questions, comments. I wish the people in the chats could be privy to our group chat last night because I guess we'll
Last
start
night
there.
it ran through into this morning.
It did, and I think it started. Brian, I bet Purdy 22-1 to win MVP, and then Brian bet Ayuk over receiving yards.
Oh
He
my
starts
God.
trolling Purdy, trolling me for making the pick. So
I woke up
got
with
heated.
80 unanswered messages,
Yeah.
and I think
We'll just start there. I was surprised San Fran was that bad on defense. They couldn't run the ball. I thought Purdy played pretty well until the fourth quarter. He threw a couple picks. The last one, it's like, all right, there's 30 seconds left in the game. You're at the 40-yard line with no timeouts. You have to force it. I think people are just waiting to jump on Purdy. I was just surprised the defense played that badly. So I don't know where you guys want to start with that game last night, and then we can just go from there.
Purdy. I want to start with Purdy because he's the most. I mean, he's hogging the conversation. I think you're trying to make the astute point that, like, if you want to have that conversation, then have that conversation separate of the fact that he wasn't the reason they lost the game last night, right? Like, there's a lot that went into him to them losing last night, similar to the Cleveland game. There was more that went into it than him being bad. He was worse in the Cleveland game, but last night in what you would call clutch time, that was when he was at his worst, and that's going to be a problem for a quarterback when he's being graded, and why it's a fun controversy, essentially.
Did we lose Brad?
Yeah, his audio is messed up.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, look, the kid basically never lost a game, never threw an interception till like a week ago. Like, he's going to at some point lose a game throwing a couple interceptions. The amount of people where you go, oh, I told you so. He's a fraud. He's a system quarterback. I know you were saying, Brad, last night, like, oh, he's been all right so far. I was like, he's been better than all right. Like, his numbers are awesome. He was due to just, have a little bit of a hiccup. And to me, that game comes down to the start of the game and the end of the first half. McCaffrey fumbles going in, should be 7-0. And then they give up a ridiculous touchdown. Like, there's no way San Francisco should have let up that touchdown before the half. Like, they're not even in Hail Mary range. That's just horrible coaching, horrible defense. That was the game. Okay, he had a chance to dig him out late, but to me, you look at Purdy, 70% completion, 9 yards per attempt. That's not why they lost the game.
Brad, you had something. You were holding your finger up as though we should make sure.
Can't hear Brad.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Now we can, but I think it's delayed.
It's delayed, yeah.
It sounds like he agrees with me.
Sounds
like he agrees with me.
Tell my point. Let me come back and get back in.
All right.
No, I don't.
Just text it to us.
I don't.
Yep, he's just saying Will's right, and we can move on. I mean, to me, look, that's just.
I guess. Like, who are you arguing with?
Brian, basically, Brian was in our chat, and Brad, I think, kind of jumped in with Brian's side where I was like, oh, he didn't play well in the game. It's like, he played pretty well for most of the game. All right, he threw a couple picks late. I mean, one of them, I couldn't. That first one was probably a bad throw. I don't know if the receiver just got rerouted or whatever. It was a bad decision. Okay, we'll put that one on him. And even the last one, all right. I mean, you got to force the ball late. He threw a pick, but like most of the game, he played
I hear you. I want to make sure we stay on like one point, because that's also what ended up being the reason for like 678 texts in our chat.
Yeah,
is that like we were all talking about like 6 different points at once, and so like bringing it back to the main point. My main 2 points are: I agree. I've noticed now a weird desire for Brock Purdy and the 49ers to fail that I don't know where it comes from.
It comes from being good.
But it was a super quick turn from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Tom Brady and being hated.
Because nobody criticizes him, so I feel like people hate when nobody gets criticized. Part of it too is there's an Eagles. I know it's a lot of people with Eagles avatars, Eagles in their bio, like, oh, because I think they hear the fact that, or the people saying, hey, if Purdy didn't get hurt, they would have won. So people are waiting to pile on Purdy. I think that's a lot of it.
He seems like a nice guy. I think he like helps old ladies across the street and like picks up groceries.
Right. No, it's about it's a sports thing. It's not a personal thing.
Yeah, whatever. Then it's just weird and misguided in my point.
I agree.
I think he's fine, and I don't know that he needs to be better than fine on this team. So let's just temper the amount of credit we give him, but also not like thrash him when he's part of the reason that they lose.
Jump in, Brad. What were you gonna say?
Am I still delayed?
No, you're good.
I had to close. Listen, I didn't want to come to this fight without the arsenal without the unbiased data, and
Let's
I
go.
had everything loaded up, but I can't keep all of it up and still run the show.
Fire from the hip, baby.
So I only took screenshots of a couple of things. Brock Purdy has only had 2 per grades, per analytic grades, 2 good weeks. That was against Arizona. That was against Dallas. He had the worst.
What do you mean by that?
The analytical grades based out of 100 for a quarterback.
From who though? Like,
Okay. This one's PFF. You can look it up. Success
those are
rate
stats.
as well.
I mean, those are opinions though. Those are not facts in my opinion.
I mean, when multiple companies are saying, well, you're having opinions too, but Will, I'm going to actually touch on your part too.
Oh.
And I'm going to say you were right in this as well. Right? Yeah, I'm going to touch on his parts. He had his worst performance against who was that? The Browns. Was the worst graded quarterback that week in all of NFL. Last night, he'll probably be bottom 3rd in grades. Where Will's point is making a lot of sense, where he's been good in some areas. He has one of the highest ADOTs, especially completion percentage in ADOTs at 78% adjusted completion percentage. That factors in how deep you're throwing the ball, factored in with like you're not going to get bonus points for throwing it 3 yards down the line of scrimmage. So he's been great at that aspect. When he's had to throw the ball deep or he's had to challenge defense, he's done well. But he also has messed up areas where he's thrown the ball in dangerous situations and hasn't been excelling at the highest of levels. So I get where Will's coming from. The numbers are going to look good. He's doing great. Like I said, he's doing all right. But it would be unfair for us to say he didn't struggle the last 2 weeks.
Oh, no. I think 2 weeks ago against Cleveland, he didn't play well, I think, and they still had a chance to win the game. That was a tough defense. I think that we probably overlooked that going into the game last night. That was a physical game against Cleveland. Maybe there was a little hangover there physically where San Fran wasn't ready for the game last night. I don't want to get too much into PFF. PFF is not fact, though. PFF is somebody's opinion.
Okay. Well, let's go. We'll pull up. If I had myself, we could go success rate as well, too. Success rate is good enough. EPA per play is good enough, too. I will make a grid. I'll compare PFF. I'll compare success rate and EPA. I'll even put an FTN in there, too. That's 4 different sources, and we'll compare them that way.
Okay. What do you have them in front of you?
I had to close everything out because that's why I kept lagging. I had like freaking 8 different stat companies up.
And I don't know. I don't want to come off like I'm the all-knowing of these quarterbacks. That there's so many stats out there. Like I don't know how to source it. I do. But the one thing I do feel passionate about, I feel like PFF puts these numbers out and they put decimal points, so people take them as gospel. Where it's like at the end of the day, it's somebody's opinion. Somebody's making a grade with, I track PFF and especially for college football, I base PFF and I'll look at it compared to like Fangraphs or CFB data where it's just raw data and it's pretty accurate. I don't want to say like how PFF ranks players. I don't think that's obviously biased, right? Like, that's someone's opinion, but there's sheer stats. Like if you tell me like how many turnover worthy passes he's had or adjusted completion percentage, like you can't make that stuff up, Turnover worthy play. I don't know. There's probably some gray area in there where 2 people can look at it.
Some gray area, but
so I mean, I don't want to get too far into the weeds.
But if you do turnover worthy plays and you base it on everyone who's on the same scale, then it's a lot more fair than just saying Brock Purdy and we're not grading anyone else.
No,
has 8 turnover worthy passes.
And I think EPA is pretty favorable to Purdy. I know this. Look, coming into yesterday, 10
EPA is very favorable to him, but EPA also helps when you have really good skill position players around you.
Right. And
that's when you want to look at success rate versus EPA, because success rate is how much to 100% of a successful play it is. EPA was it successful? I mean, success opposite way around.
Yeah.
Successful was it successful? Was it not successful? EPA is how much to 100% it was.
Right.
100% being the end zone.
Yes.
And I just think I could just sense an overreaction, like Josh put it, people just waiting to pile on this kid. Where it's like, if you watch the game start to finish, to me, it's the defense. It's, McCaffrey fumbled early and they gave that ridiculous touchdown before the half. I don't look at him like, oh my God, Brock Purdy lost that game. He was terrible. It's like he had a chance to steal the game at the end. He was pretty good for most of it. So
if you guys remember what I said he was bad. I never blamed the loss on him, like whatsoever. Yeah. Like, especially that scramble when he had 2 really good scrambles where he evaded sacks. Like, he shouldn't be under that much pressure with their good offensive line. I know Trent Williams is out, but like
they couldn't run the ball either.
They couldn't run the ball whatsoever. I mean, the offensive line sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think bad is harsh. And again, we're splitting hairs a little bit where it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, he was good for most of the game, and then he was bad in the fourth quarter again.
But once you listen, that's the benefit of being a quarterback who wants to be at the best level possible, playing for the best team. Your bad is going to be unfair compared to the average bad in the NFL.
Maybe, and I guess give him some leeway just because he hasn't played bad, really. I mean, he's what, how many starts into his career? 14, 15. He's lost what now only 2 games there in the last 7 days, but he's been pretty clean. So I just give him the benefit of the doubt. Brian was bringing up Hurts last week, and everyone killed Hurts. I was like, you know what? The Eagles defense allowed nothing to the Jets, and Hurts lost the game by himself. This was a different story where the Eagles had the lead, Hurts threw it away. Purdy was just trying to rally his team. I just thought. And another thing last night, San Fran just played so slow. If you're the better team, why are you slowing the game down like that? They were just really just slowing.
And then I didn't understand the wide receiver route trees. I get what they were trying to do. Literally every single route tree they had was to clear out space for the tight end in the middle of the field. What's his name? Kyle Shanahan. He is obsessed with copying what Josh McDaniels does. And this is not my opinion. He said that he copies a lot what Josh McDaniels does.
You mean Mike McDaniel?
No, because Mike McDaniel was his coordinator.
No. Shanahan, he's come out publicly and said that he adapts a lot of what Mike McDaniel does. And a lot of it's that's where Zoom motion came from. But like what McDaniel's been doing a lot recently is clearing out the middle of the field with their faster players, and that allows the tight end, or if you have someone underneath like a Tyreek Hill, to come in underneath there. And I felt like they did that a lot with George Kittle, but like they didn't have that second fast guy to come in underneath, which kind of made it feel like clunky. If that makes sense.
No, I did. And again, it was a fun little back and forth. It got it got contentious.
I'm just trying to figure out how they were so bad on offense. Like
that I think that's where we move forward before we get to the baseball and the basketball. Does this give you any concern with San Francisco moving forward and the Minnesota side of it? Minnesota now plus 165 to make the playoffs. They're sort of not dead anymore. Plus 550 to win the division. So Josh, I'll start with you. Does this change how you feel about San Francisco? You've been big on, hey, this is the best team. I'm picking them to win it all. Does this change how you feel about them?
No, I put the last couple losses as much on Kyle Shanahan as anyone else. I think that's easily the most fixable thing is how are you coaching? If you're already a good coach, it's way easier than maybe a player in a slump or whatever, right? Like, so I think that's a very fixable thing. Their roster, they're going to need to keep it healthy as much as possible, obviously moving forward. But I do think they have enough depth in so many key areas that they could lose. They can win without Deebo Samuel essentially.
I want to say that as someone who has a very hefty ticket on Vikings to make the playoffs preseason, I was so happy for the win because I almost wanted to rip that ticket up. I got plus 125, so it's not like I was eating juice, but I think this is a game that the Vikings can build off of, like more so defensively. They were actually able to get pressure on the quarterback. And we talked about this. The Vikings love turning the ball over early in the game, but every game they've played so far, it's been like the reason they've lost. Now they turn the ball over early in the game and they fight back and they play with a lead.
Next few games at the Packers, at the Falcons, then the home versus the Saints, at the Broncos, home versus the Bears, at the Raiders. So the schedule's not that bad. They could really get back in the mix. I think Detroit probably still wins that division at plus 550. It's at least worth thinking about. I don't know. You never trust this. Josh is saying no. I mean, no, you're probably right. Lions are the rightful favorite. I expect the Lions to win. It's not where like a couple weeks ago where it's like I wouldn't have even given a second thought. The last thing on this,
Detroit,
I just think people oversimplify where it's like quarterback versus quarterback. Like I just think
when teams stop holding Aiden Hutchinson.
Your audio is messed up again, Brad.
Yeah, Brad is a little wonky with the
can't be opening up other tabs, homie.
I have no other tabs open. I'm literally opening up on my phone. This sucks.
All right, should we get to baseball? I don't know if we can keep Brad with the sound, but baseball, obviously the Astros get buried last night. It was Texas early and often. It's amazing, man. That division was so back and forth, and then Texas, every road team wins every game in that series. Just a very strange series. Astros made a little noise but couldn't get back in the game, so it's going to be Texas against the winner today of Phillies, Diamondbacks. We get another game 7. Phillies minus 175. Totals 9. Suarez against Flott. Josh, do you have anything for this game?
Man, I love me some Ranger Suarez in key spots. I do. But what's his leash? Like, what's both their leashes? That's what we've been talking about for each of these games. For outs recorded on DraftKings right now, it's 11.5 for Flott and 10.5 for Suarez. The over for Suarez is minus 145. The under 11.5 for Fott is minus 150. Expect them to go around the same amount. They just priced the under better for Suarez, obviously, than for Fott. But yeah, I would like Brandon Fott, man. What do we do with that? It's another conversation of like a young pitcher who's is going to be seen for the second time in 4 or 5 days. What do you do with that? That's kind of worked out in the hitters' favors. Even in these playoffs, we've seen it play out. So with Javier especially. So yeah, I mean, it seems like Fott's ripe to get hit, doesn't it? We've all been leaning Philly so hard and haven't really given the Diamondbacks credit for a single game yet this series. I haven't heard anybody be like, yeah, D-backs tonight. We haven't talked about anything other than their pitchers potentially going under, over, and outs. Like, do we start giving them? When do we start giving them respect and caring about what they could do to win, as opposed to just what the Phillies need to do to not lose?
And both pitchers stayed well under. Scherzer was out of there in the second, third inning. Yep. His outs were pretty much just a lock. They did not give him credit. They're like, you know what? He's not sharp. We'll go to Montgomery. I would go under with both outs. I think I'm torn between 3 or 4 innings for Suarez. I think it'll be like once through the lineup for Suarez. And I think we'll see Wheeler pretty early on, 4th, 5th, maybe, I don't know, 4th or 5th inning. Wheeler throws a couple innings. Probably the same. Gowan and Wheeler are both on 2 days rest. So we're probably going to see both those guys in the middle innings. It's what makes Game 7 so fun. It's all hands on deck. It's, do whatever you can to win. So I mentioned
that here comes the Zach Wheeler MVP ticket.
It's gotten nuked, man. It was 26-1 last night when I was texting you guys. It's down to 10-1 at FanDuel. It's plus 850 at Bet Rivers. 26-1 was just a bad number. He's 2-0 in the series. He could steal a win today. Now, Schwarber's hit 5 homers. Schwarber's the rightful favorite. I don't know that I'd play it at 10-1, but if Wheeler steals a win here and Schwarber doesn't have a good game, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Nola needs to go at least 4 to get the win. What
Suarez,
happens?
You mean?
Or I'm sorry, Suarez needs to go at least 4 to get the win. What
5.
happens if Wheeler 5? Oh, yeah. So what happens if Wheeler comes in the 3rd inning? How many does he have to go to get the win?
You have to be
You know what I mean?
So I don't think he would come in the 3rd. I think you have to.
If it was before the 5th, what is
you have to get the last out of the 5th? I think.
Okay.
You can't win the game.
No
you
matter
come
what,
out in the 3rd or 4th. Yeah, you have to be in the 5th. And again, like the score can overrule it. It gets complicated, but like if Wheeler gives you 2 dominant innings, I think whether it's a save and they could use him at the end, sort of like Mad Bum style, or they could use him in the middle. I don't know. I would expect Philly to win. I mean, look, Philly killed them the first 2 games. They blew leads in 3. Blue leads in 3 and 4. They should have won 5. Like this series should have been over in 5. All right, Arizona beat them yesterday, but I just think winning in Philly, another game, I think it's gonna be tough. I would expect Philly to win today.
Just feels like we've been saying that on repeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I agree. I completely agree with all of it. I think we talked a little bit before. I have been one of the few of us that's been actually like prepping for NBA. So I've actually stopped betting as much in-game MLB as I was in the earlier round. So haven't looked at it as closely. I mean, this one is just gonna be all over the place with once pitchers are just swapped out and like what could be the 3rd, man. Like it's not unreasonable that either of these pitchers, like the bullpen's up by the 2nd inning, right? Like I think it's highly reasonable.
Yep.
So
do we have Brad back or no?
Am I back, boys?
Yeah, you're back. You sound good.
I think I figured out what was going on. So I've been having computer issues, obviously, and I tried to do a workaround last night, but it was still trying to get my service through the workaround, my connection.
You got baseball bets though?
No baseball. Oh, I'm retired with baseball, man. Last night, man. The Astros.
You had the Astros big.
Didn't even
hedge.
No, I didn't hedge because I went out to dinner, and then when I was driving home, the game started.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even like it never came to my mind from dinner until I got home, and then I was like, okay, no worries. Look, the game started already down 1-0, then 3-0, and I was like, oh wow, this sucks.
Yep, it happened quick. It certainly happened quick. So. World Series starts Friday in Texas. It will be, man, it's amazing. It's either going to be Philly. Can you imagine a Rangers Diamondbacks World Series? That might be the worst.
Sure can't.
Lowest rated World Series ever. Rams, by the way, released Brett Maher. Yeah, that's a few days too late after you screwed me the other day. Thanks a lot. All right, NBA. It's here. We get 2 games tonight. We already got guys missing games. Beal's going to be out. Is Booker questionable for tonight?
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Oh my god.
Literally 50-50. He's gonna get into warm-ups and see how he feels.
Unbelievable. Nuggets laying 5 against the Lakers. Conference Finals rematch. Total 228. Warriors Suns. Warriors laying 3.5. Do you guys have anything on these games before we get to futures awards? Any win totals you guys like?
Nothing on the games.
No interest.
So happy to
Imagine
tell you
I,
that, dude.
I have an award.
All right, let's
Let
do
me
these
get-
games
let me-
first.
Let me get
Josh,
into
what do
this
you, yeah.
game. Yeah. So
Oh yeah, I forgot Josh handicapped this like 2 months ago.
no, because 2 months ago Christian Wood wasn't even on the Lakers, and I'm talking about him for a second. You don't know what's going to happen fully tonight. Some things that I think you can bank on. Austin Reeves is at 15.5 points still, and he just signed a 4-year contract. He's going to have the third highest usage on this team, maybe even higher. Might take more shots than LeBron in this one, although LeBron has come out firing in the last couple of season openers. So I'm not really looking to bet under on LeBron in any way. But I am going to take Reeves over 15.5 points. Mini ladder, I'll take him at 20 plus for plus 185. Jamal Murray, I'm going under 6.5 assists. I'm throwing him in a parlay with that as well, but I'm going to hit it straight. And like the Lakers are good at limiting point guards. They were last year. He averaged 6 last year. We all just remember him out assisting Jokic in that conference finals, which was wild. So we took, so there's still a little bit of inflation for the Jamal Murray 7 assists in this game. I don't think it's going to come to that. I do think it's to be slower and choppier. And then the other thing I would say, I do like Chris Paul. It feels a little bit like square, but Chris Paul at 7.5 assists you can get for even money, and a double for him is
over or under?
Over.
Okay,
because no Draymond.
Okay.
Yeah, so Draymond's out in this game. I think you're going to see CP3 in the starting lineup. Well, you are, and then you're going to see him in the closing lineup as well. And I think he's just going to continue to play assist man. I mean, he knows where to go, and he knows where Steph is going to be, as well as Clay. So I think he's just going to be that point man that gets the assist. The double is plus 370, but I also like the over 7.5 assists for even money.
I'll be betting NBA regular season, just not yet. I'm just
like
not there
that.
yet. I don't know. I did bet a bunch of season win totals, futures, awards. So anything else on these games tonight? You want to just quickly recap? Because I feel like you went kind of quick there.
No doubt.
Bullet point your bets.
Austin Reeves over 15.5 points.
Okay.
Jamal Murray under 6.5 assists. CP3 over 7.5 assists, as well as a CP3 double for plus 370. I'm going to mess around with Christian Wood, by the way, too. I'm going to throw a tiny little ladder on his points because it's at 7.5. He averaged 16.5 last season in 25 minutes. So even if he gets the backup role of 16 minutes, if he keeps a similar usage, then he's good to go over. I just need to see what their rotation looks like, but I'm going to try it out with a little sprinkle with Christian Wood points.
Okay.
I think that and then you see AD kind of probably play 26 minutes today.
He's going to go crazy. I love that we already have head-to-head bets on DraftKings. They used to only give us those in the playoffs where you could take player head-to-head stats. Now you can do it in the regular season. So I think I'm going to take AD to outscore Jamal Murray for plus money.
Feels like we were just sitting here 10 minutes ago talking about the NBA Finals, talking
Yeah.
about these games. It feels like the season just ended. I don't know why, and it's like a week or two later than usual. The season just snuck up on me for whatever reason. I don't know if I'm busy doing these other sports or just
you are. Your head down. You're writing articles now, man. Fuck,
yeah,
I mean, you got shit going on, dude.
All right, I will reveal my picks here. I got a few I like, and then Brad, jump in with whatever you want. I found 24-1 on Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year.
That got nuked.
He's about 13. He's about 13 feet tall. That's my handicap. He blocks everything. I don't know that he'll play the 65 games, but if he does, man, he's going to win some of these in his career. It's just about staying healthy, meeting the games. Which again, I don't know that he's going to play enough games. I guess he won't, but if he does, that should not be whatever 24-1. So I like Wembanyama 24-1 for Defensive Player of the Year.
I think he's going to get that. Did you see that got nuked right after we talked about it on the show yesterday, and a lot of people started hitting it?
Oh, I didn't. I saw one offshore. One of my.
I think the best price is mostly 10 to 15, around 10 or 15 to 1 now.
Which I probably wouldn't do it. I mean, I don't know. That's cutting it short.
I watched him play live, and no one knows the geometry of the basketball court anymore. So
right,
that's good for 3 blocks a game.
His block shots was plus 160 for 3.
Plus 1,500 at DraftKings for Defensive Player of the Year. That's cutting it close. I'll leave it at that. And I did find again one of the offshore sites, Clippers plus 225 to miss the playoffs. Their 2 best players basically never play basketball, so I feel good about them. Under 46.5 wins and to miss the playoffs. The West is loaded. Kawhi's going to miss 34 games. He just always does. George, same thing. So to me, that team has missed its window. So those are the 2 I will give out. Brad, what else do you have in terms of awards, futures, anything you want to get to?
Yeah, I got Jamal Mosley to win Coach of the Year.
Oh, I did this last year. That guy fucked me.
Yeah, I think the
What
Magic win
number?
their division. 28.
Win the division.
He's
That's 10 to
22 on
1.
FanDuel right now.
Magic to win
Let's
the
see what
division is
they're
10 to
ranked.
1. I'm playing the Southeast Division the same way I played the NFC South, which is everybody here sucks. All right, let me find the best price.
Yeah.
So you can get Hawks at plus 225, and you can get Magic at 10 to 1, and I think both of those are way better. If you have the Heat, I took the Heat under 46.5 wins. I'm just anti regular season Heat.
Coach of the Year. And then he is 25 now on DraftKings.
8 to 1 at DraftKings for the Magic to win the division. I thought about them. I heard some people giving out Charlotte too to win that division at 35 to 1 with all that young talent. You guys, no? Okay.
Charlotte's not going to be good.
No, give me.
They're going to be fun.
First coach to get fired. What are we talking about?
Steve Kerr's not a good coach. They're going to be fun to watch. They're going to be fun to watch. That's for sure. But they're going to have the games they get up on.
Will be fun with LaMelo, but that's
What's the path for them? Like the Heat, all right, Butler gets hurt, they're old. The Hawks are just good, they're not great. And then
the Hawks are gonna be good. Quinn Snyder is a very good.
Very good.
A lot of people like the Hawks.
I
know a lot of people like the Hawks.
Trae Young, I think you still get him at.
If the Magic win 45 games, like that's not out of the question. Their win total set at 38.5 right now.
That's an 8 or 9 win jump. Yeah.
I feel like they just don't have enough guard play, but I like their upside. I like their talent.
See how good Anthony Black is. But
Anthony Black. But I think them getting Anthony Black is going to make their guards better. Like, because someone's going to lose their job. Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz, Jalen Suggs.
Cole Anthony just got resigned.
Yeah, but someone's got to be gone. Like, or they're going to be just entirely kicked out of the rotation.
True.
Iron sharpens iron, or at least we have a bunch of dull knives.
That contract is actually probably very tradable now for pieces. So, I'm
excited about Anthony Black. Not excited about Jet Howard, but
I'm all over the Pacers. I've been hitting the Pacers and the
Rick
Knicks.
Carlisle was a good price too.
I took him at 40 to 1 for coach of the year.
Yeah, I thought his coach of the year price was really
I put a whole bunch of Pacers bets in because I just want a piece of them surprising the league even more than, a lot of people who are like nerds like them because they're going to be super fun on League Pass. But I took their over wins. I took them 45 plus. I took them to be a top 4 seed in the conference. There's some really cool conference seeding bets that you can make.
Yeah, they're a fun team.
The Knicks, I bet under 6.5. That is such a fucking insult that the Knicks have a 6.5 conference seeding. They're such a try-hard team in the regular season. They have Thibodeau. They have 3 Villanova Wildcats. I mean, I know I'm a Knicks fan, but like this is gonna be a really good regular season team, and 45 wins for them was still like plus.
They're a steady team. I agree. They have Thibodeau who tries hard. Brunson
They're about to get Joel Embiid, by the way.
They're a low ceiling, but they're a high floor. Like they're gonna win their 44-40. Like they're not winning the championship, but they're gonna win their 44-45 games. They're gonna be a 4
regular season bet team.
Yeah, I agree. You know what you're getting with them. I agree with that.
Hard. Yep. I mean, look, I have a laundry list of bets that I made for the preseason. So.
What about Jalen Williams? Oh no, that's the other Jalen Williams, isn't it? I would say Jalen Williams 6th man of the year, but I think it's the other one.
Well, let's wrap on if you guys have like we'll throw our predictions to win the finals. We'll look at MVP odds. Last like big picture question. You guys look, we all love the Thunder. Do you think it's getting a little out of control with the Thunder love, with their win total, with people like hyping them as like being I don't know. I just feel like everyone's on them.
First, I have to see what it is for them to win it all now.
It depends what people are saying. So let's start with is it absurd that they would win their division?
I gotta look at who's their division. 44.5 wins.
Well, they have to beat out the Nuggies.
The Thunder are still 80 to 1 to win it all. I bet them to win it all. But at like 125 or something, whenever Josh talked about him in the offseason, I was like, every time he would say it, I'd put another $10 on it.
I bet it at like 125 to 1-2 just because I was like, they have so many assets. Who knows? They could make a trade and that number could move. And I forget who was available at the time where it's like, maybe they get one of these unhappy superstars. As currently constructed, they're not winning the title. They're a good team. They're a fun team. I mean, that team's not winning the title. Division, who knows? Because an injury, these teams don't play hard in the regular season. So that's why these divisions are wide open. 6 to 1 to win the division. Is that worth it? Timberwolves are in the division. Nuggets, Jazz, Blazers.
No.
It's the Nuggets. Are they even in the regular season, beat out the Nuggets? And the reason that I can't really buy into it too much, unless you just want to go, like, for them, it's more of like a 1 seed in the West is worth it for me once you start talking about that number.
Yeah.
Because the 6-1 for them to win the division is like, there's definitely a world where that happens.
Right.
But the percent chance is much worse than 6-1 on your money.
Right.
Right. So, but once you get into like, is there a 2 to 3% chance that they're the 1 seed and you get that at like, well, now it's probably a little bit more new too, but at one point it was like 80-1. Now we're talking about worth it, you know? And so, yeah, I think things have been nuked for them, which sucks because there's no surprise. But there's still a way to get a piece of the ceiling that's very high.
Awards MVP Jokic is plus 450, the favorite. I wouldn't bet that.
No.
Luka's plus 500. I feel like they've been trying to give Luka the award forever now. Team's
Not
just
gonna
never
happen.
good enough. Giannis plus 550, Embiid plus 650. No, and no.
Nope.
Tatum
Shea
plus,
Alexander.
Tatum plus 750. Durant 14-1. He's got the ability. I just don't know if he'll play enough games. Same thing.
No.
Curry 15-1. Shea at 16-1 is too short. Booker 18-1.
Booker, I
don't
took
know,
at
man.
27 and 22-1 both.
What about Anthony Edwards at 30-1?
No, I don't know that.
No, because
Too
I
short?
still think
They're all too
Booker
short.
has the capacity to be the best player on what will be the best team. It could be the best team or a top 3 seed.
These
for
prices
sure,
suck.
or less.
These prices
think-
suck. That's correct.
They suck, but Booker to me is the only one that's like, even at 18-1, that might be the shortest that I'd play it. But like that is a real legitimate scenario for him to win that award.
What if Lauri Markkanen has another step
Oh
after
my
finish
These
military
teams,
school?
You got to take a top 3 seed in each conference at the worst.
It sucks. Like I don't want to bet anyone
About Brock Purdy.
10-1. I already have Brock Purdy at 20-1.
With
I
that,
don't know, man.
I'm hanging
LeBron
out with Will.
19-1. Can LeBron play enough games where it's like, all right, he gets
No.
one last one, and the Lakers are good enough?
The dude's drinking wine during the preseason. He's definitely not playing enough games
Yeah.
in the regular season.
Yeah.
nope.
You got to take into account. All right, the team has to be good enough, and there has to be the narrative. Like the narrative's there with LeBron, the team's there. I just don't know.
What
how to
about
play the
De'Aaron
team.
Fox?
No.
I don't like the team
Kings
enough.
can't get a next step.
I don't think so.
Hold on,
I don't think they're good enough on defense.
What's his price, Brad?
40-1.
40. I was gonna play Malik Monk 6th man of the year just because he's gonna be a bucket and their team.
I thought you were going to say MVP. I was ready to just close the show.
was-
Maybe cancel the show for the rest of the week.
There's some possibilities with 6th man of the year. Jordan Clarkson was announced coming off the bench. That's super huge.
Oh,
He's still going to be in
okay.
at the end of the games. I think he became a really solid bet there.
$100 free bet on MVP. Who would you guys go with?
$100 free bet, Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah, I took Book.
Who would you take right now? You take Book at
Yeah.
18-1.
Did you hear Giannis' statement after the first freak time game? He said,
I'd probably go.
I've
Tatum.
never been more open because they can't just clog
Yeah.
the paint with Dame there.
Taking a shot at his old teammates. That's nice.
Who did you say, Will?
Tatum plus 750.
750?
They'll be good. He hasn't won it yet. There's a
He
narrative.
has no
for
dog
him.
in him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hilarious.
I always give my Boston boy shit because he knows it's true.
That's funny.
Tatum's good. He's really good, but no.
These
dog.
lines suck. Like Davis has the talent at 35-1 again, missing games. Kawhi 35-1. Zion. Like these guys aren't even going to play. Like 35-1. These prices are ridiculous.
They're gonna be eliminated. They're gonna be statistically eliminated.
Pellies are another team like the Thunder in that their value is take them to be the 1 seed in the West, for instance.
Right.
That's legit, like 30-1 for the Pellies to be the 1 seed. That's like, look, Zion play, they good. Zion no play, they middle. Like it's very simple.
Trae Young plus 1,800. Can I bet the no on Trae Young? Can I lay minus 2,500 that he won't win the MVP?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna
If Trae
bet
Young
him.
wins MVP.
I'm gonna bet him 24 points per game, and I'm
Okay.
gonna bet Donovan. I did bet Donovan Mitchell lead points per game leader in the league.
You guys have a pick for champion finals? Anything you want to throw out there? We can look at MVP odds to win it all.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm down to always like talk about it and say gun to your head, whatever. But like, these prices are gonna be available in March.
Life
Yeah.
on the line. Who's in the finals?
Suns, Grizzlies. Not Grizzlies. I meant Suns, Bucks.
Okay. Who you got, Josh?
Suns, Celtics.
Celtics. I like Celtics. I can't get wrong with that.
I'll go Suns Bucks too.
I think you put those two teams in a series, and I think I feel better with, especially once you know who's coaching which team. Not that Joe Mazzulla gives me that much confidence, but
again, Bucks 4-1, Celtics 4-1 to win it all. Nuggets plus 550, Suns plus 650, Lakers 12-1. I mean,
There's no team here either that like you could say, oh my god, I see a pathway to victory for
Right.
the lower teams.
Right. I mean, I
I'm gonna
trust
ask my
Denver to hang around to like be in the conference finals. You probably, if you bet Denver plus 550 now, again, you're tying up your money, but come April, May, you'll probably be happy you have the plus 550. They'll probably be in like the conference finals and that price will look good. But again, you might as well just wait and get plus 400,
Yeah.
make sure nobody gets hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. You might even get more juice because Jokic is being fat and watching people ride horses on his phone or something. So
Yeah.
like they could be bad going into the playoffs and worse than people expect. And then I'm like, great. I still would rather have this team in a 7-game series than pretty much all of them. So
Yeah.
These teams.
Anything else?
Let me give out my sleeper, and then obviously I'm going to give out a 16-leg parlay. Basically, I'm not going to explain anything. I'm just going to say the pick for NHL. For those who don't know, all 32 teams are playing. So I'm just going to say the game in the bet. Leafs money line. That's Leafs at Capitals. Ducks money line. Ducks at Blue Jackets. Senators money line. Sabres at Senators. Hurricanes Lightning over 6.5. Devils Canadiens. Devils minus 1.5. Dallas Penguins. Dallas money line. Sharks Panthers. Panthers on the puck line. Avs money line versus Islanders. Red Wings money line versus Kraken. Bruins puck line versus Blackhawks. Blues Jets. Jets money line. You could go puck line there if you want. Oilers Wild money line. Nucks Preds. Nucks as the underdog. Rangers Flames. Rangers in the bounce back as the money line. Yotes Kings. Yotes money line about plus 200. Flyers Knights. Flyers plus 1.5 on the puck line. And then I have a sleeper. Obviously, these are massive because this is a big day for the NHL. So I did like massive ones. It's $10 to win 498. I think $10 is the max or something. They wouldn't let me bet more. David Perron over 1.5 shots on goal. Brokov at least 1 assist. You can still do at least 1 point. It's the same price, which was an idiot play by me. I'm going to pronounce this guy's name wrong, but for the Twins, Capri Kaprizov, 4+ shots on target. Sidney Crosby, 3+ shots on target. Erik Karlsson of the Penguins, 3+ shots on target. Jesper Bratt, 3+ shots on target. And Clayton Keller, 3+ shots on target. And Keller, I'm probably going to play to win the heart if they win tonight because I'm taking Yotes money line, and I'm just going to take that money and roll it over.
Can you read back that 16-team parlay?
Yeah.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I was like, holy shit.
joking.
Someone said thoughts on Bruins as Vegas. Sure. It's the chalk parlay. It's okay. I think Bruins puck line. Avs are in a good spot, and Vegas is in a good spot. But I actually would take the Flyers puck line just because I think the Flyers have enough dog in the fight. And to win 7 straight games is tough.
Is hockey chalky in like the regular season, especially early? Like, you know how
no,
NFL
hockey is not chalky. Like when you see a team that's minus 250 or worse, you're better off playing the other team's money line.
Gotcha.
That's how it is in hockey.
All
right. Lightning Hurricanes over 6.5. Hurricanes so far 6-0 to the over. Then I took Braden Point over 2.5 shots on goal, and then Nikita Kucherov to score a goal plus 175. Those are my official plays.
You got all that, Josh?
Yep, I just wrote it down.
Yep, me too.
I can rewatch it. Games don't start till later.
We covered a lot. It was a lot to get to. Hopefully, we covered everything. So huge sports day. We got hockey, basketball, NLCS Game 7. So we'll be a little quieter once the baseball's over for a few days. That'll be winding down, and we'll transition to the winter sports and just NFL. So, boys, appreciate it. Fun show. We'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern. Appreciate you guys in the chat and you guys listening. So thank you to Josh and Brad. Pickett, Sleeper. We'll see you guys noon Eastern tomorrow.